Okay, Mr. Chairman, you're ready to go.
Okay, all right. The Public Utilities Committee will now call to come to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Vollmer,
Present.
Alderwoman Ingracia, Alderman Oldenburg,
Present.
Alderwoman Navarro,
Present.
Alderman Narayan,
Present.
Alderman Todd,
Present.
Chairman Coder,
Here.
Alderwoman Ingracia. 6 present, you have quorum.
Thank you, Sharita. Okay, we'll go ahead and on the agenda here, item 3, excused alderman. We'll excuse the alderwoman from the 6th for necessary absence. Item 4, I don't believe we have any minutes to approve because we've never met. And item 5 is board bills for review. And the first board bill and only board bill today is board bill. This says 60, what the heck board bill number is this? Is this 65 or 66? Oh, this is 66. Sorry, I got my notes wrong. Board bill 66, which is my board bill, which is a topic we've discussed before. So I'm going to go ahead and recognize myself on board bill 66. And what I want to do is just give a couple remarks and then turn it over to Dr. Gaskell Clemens, who I believe may be on vacation and joining us remotely today. Board bill 66 is something we've been working on for a couple years, and it has to do with trying to find a better, more modern way to tax fiber network providers. So really folks providing high-speed internet in neighborhoods within the city. Under our city code, they've been subject to a per linear foot fee to $2.20 per linear foot, which is a pretty high fee. There's some folks from the fiber industry on this call who I think would probably say that's much higher than other per linear foot fees in other cities. Our linear foot fee was set a long time ago. It really can't be changed, nor can that ordinance really be amended, because it has, since there is state law that I guess supersedes it. So we're grandfathered in with that per linear foot fee. That fee collects about $2.1 million a year. Of that, only approximately 150,000 comes from fiber network providers. And it's our belief, talking to Dr. Clemens, he can speak more to this, Dr. Gaskell Clemens, that we're going to more than make this up by allowing fiber providers to switch to a gross receipts, 7.5% of gross receipts tax versus trying to pay this linear foot fee. The goal here is to get more competition in the marketplace. We want more internet providers coming in. I mean, right now you've got, you all know this, pretty limited on who your internet providers are in your neighborhoods. We want to encourage companies to make the physical investment in laying fiber in the neighborhoods, trying to get more internet access throughout. So that's the purpose of this bill. It's a tax, so we obviously cannot actually raise or really modify taxes without implicating the Hancock Amendment. So really what we're seeking to do here is put this to the voters on the November ballot, and the ballot language and everything is included in this. So we put it to them. We have passed this legislation previously, but when we did it, a number of us failed to recognize that the legislature had changed the timing of when you have to finalize basically ballot language. It used to be between 10 and 6 weeks. Now there's an 8-week deadline, and we missed the deadline. We missed the new 8-week deadline. So we passed this bill and then ultimately couldn't put it on the ballot. I think we were shooting for, originally, I think it was maybe August of 2018. I don't remember. I'm going to have one simple amendment to offer to tweak a little language. But before I do, I wanted to turn it over to Dr. Gaskell Clemens to see if he had any further remarks, because he's been very involved in this process for the last couple of years. Dr. Clemens, anything? Let's give him a minute and see if he unmutes. Do we have to unmute him? Sure. I don't know who's in charge of that. Can I unmute him?
He has control over his own microphone.
Can people hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's
Thank you,
all right.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Yes, this is something that we've been working on for over a year and a half. And to break it down succinctly, the current per foot fee is a barrier to entry. Fiber network builders will not enter the St. Louis market because this is a fee that they have to start paying as soon as they do, but before they can actually find customers. So it's a large capital expenditure that frankly, fiber network builders aren't willing to take on board. So the change to gross receipts allows them to pay an operational expense once they've found customers and can recoup the infrastructure investment that they've made. You know, the ability to attract additional fiber network builders and entice ones that are in the market to continue to build out is an issue that's at the core of our
Did we lose him? I don't hear anything. Okay. I want to make sure that wasn't me.
Seems
Did we lose Dr. Gaskell Clemens? Robert, we lost you.
microphone.
Okay.
Probably a good example of why we need more fiber.
That's that's right. Okay. Well, let's see.
How much of that?
Is he back?
Yeah.
Okay.
At what point did I get cut off?
We lost you. I guess you were talking about, the upfront investment of putting fiber in the ground. It was probably a good 30 seconds ago.
Okay. Yeah. So people don't want to pay that fee up front before they have a chance to find customers. This allows them to pay once they have found customers. So it's an operating expense. And the ability to bring these fiber networks into the market is paramount to our smart cities.
Okay. I think we lost him again. Okay, I know he was going to say that this is part of the Smart Cities initiative. With that, I will happily entertain questions. I mean, I think I might be able to answer most if people have any questions before I offer an amendment. So why don't I go down the list here and see if there's any questions from members of the committee. I got the list here. Alderman Vollmer.
No questions. I actually remember this from 2 years ago. So it's
Okay, thanks. Alderwoman Ingracia.
No questions. Thank you.
All right, Vice Chair Oldenburg.
no questions.
Okay, Alderwoman Navarro.
Thank you. I do have a question. I'm new to this committee, so I do have a question on page 2. About halfway down, it goes through the exceptions to what would be considered for this gross receipts tax, and I'm just curious if you're able just to explain what all of those are about. Are we really just trying to hone in on a specific thing here, or what all does this apply to of the service providers?
Yeah, so I mean, I can speak to that generally. This will apply really only to, we're only expanding the definition of the gross receipts to include fiber network providers, which we define above. But a lot of these folks that are already included in this, long distance, certain telephone services, that whole list, they pay and will continue to pay the gross receipts tax, the linear foot tax. In no circumstance is someone going to be paying both taxes. It's a one or the other.
Okay, so the sorts of things that are listed in there, which let me get back to it now.
It's an antiquated looking list. It's like long distance telephone services. Yeah.
Okay, so there's not a tax applied to those sorts of things.
No, they just continue to pay the linear foot tax. And just for background, most of our linear foot fee is paid by what are called like the long haul telecoms. I mean, a bunch of the old telecoms have like lines that literally run under the city that are part of the like nation's communications grid. So they pay it and will continue to do so.
Okay, thank you. And then I'm looking at the ballot language, which is on page 5. And as I read, so I think like starting with line 6. So I'm just trying to make sure I understand. So, okay, so this is going to be applied to every entity with a service or billing address, and fiber network providers built whole or in part, which are not, okay, built whole or in part in the city's public right of way, which are not internet or service providers. Okay, subject to the franchise fees. Okay, so we're saying if
Correct.
they're not already subject to these franchise fees, they will be subject to this tax.
That is correct.
Right.
And
Okay.
that speaks directly to the amendment I'll offer in a minute, which I'll explain, but we had to clear up some language on that.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions, but I appreciate you walking me through that.
No problem. Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Narayan.
Nothing for me, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Todd. Alderman Todd, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead. There's an amendment in your, I guess, Google Drive, clearing up something actually that the Alderwoman from the 28th just honed in on. And this amendment's very simple. It is to amend on page 2, lines 4 and 5, striking the words franchise fee or. So if you look at line 4 and 5, striking that. Reason being, if we did that, we would be theoretically exempting everybody from the ordinance we're trying to pass. We're trying to exempt, because some of these providers might also pay separate franchise taxes that are either implemented by the state or the feds. But so this was actually a catch that one of the companies who's helping us that wants to enter this marketplace noticed. They said if you include franchise fees there, you're actually going to be exempting everybody. So I'm just clearing up a discrepancy by removing the term franchise fees from line 4 and 5 of page 2. I would offer that as amendment number 1. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Seconded by the Alderwoman from the 6th. Any questions on that amendment that I can answer? Yes, Alderwoman.
So I'm just looking again at the ballot language down on page 5. Does that also need to be amended there? Because it does specifically say in line 13, which are not internet or service providers subject to franchise fees to customers and other users of fiber networks. And again, I haven't studied this in depth,
Yeah.
so maybe it's all cleared up, but it seems like those might be inconsistent.
Hold on one second. I'm reading. No, I think we can leave it there. We're not subject to franchise. I think we can leave it there because in the ballot language, we specifically say service providers subject to franchise fees, where it was just generally anyone subject to franchise fees on page 2, which was causing the problem. It wasn't specific to the service provider.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're okay there, but I do appreciate you catching that. Any other questions on amendment number 1? All right, hearing none, we'll take a vote on amendment number 1. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Ballmer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Ingracia,
Aye.
Alderman Odenberg,
Aye.
Alderwoman Navarro,
Aye.
Alderman Ryan,
Aye.
Alderman Todd,
Aye.
Chairman Coder.
Aye.
7 aye votes.
All right, thank you. With that, any other questions before we take a vote on Board Bill 66 as amended? Scanning the screen, I think Oldenburg's on page 2. Susan Gracia. All right, then I'll move to adopt Board Bill 66 as amended with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
Second.
All right, it's seconded twice by the Alderwoman from the 6th and the Alderman from the
Previous
24th.
roll. Previous roll.
Hearing a request from previous roll. Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, we'll consider Board Bill 66 as amended, passed with a due pass recommendation. Thanks, everybody. I know Alderwoman Ingracia has a bill that we're still waiting on some comments on regarding public utility meters and things. You know, I anticipate, I don't know if we're going to get that done before break, but we will definitely be having a hearing on that in the future and have the utility companies attend as well. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion, move to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, second, previous roll, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.